Imagine walking across a frozen, vast Pleistocene tundra over 40,000 years ago with an empty stomach that hasn't seen a single calorie in over 6 long days. You fully believe that your muscles should be wasting away into complete weakness, but as you track a wild wounded beast across miles of brutal ice, your mind actually feels terrifyingly sharp and remarkably clear. In a split second, you realize that your body isn't starving to death or falling apart at all. It has secretly unlocked an ancient, highly sophisticated internal fuel reserve designed specifically for elite survival. Your heart pumps with explosive, intense energy, while your senses sharpen to a razor-like edge, completely defying everything you were taught about human nutrition. This brutal metabolic engineering was never a rare emergency failure, but the primary biological reason your species managed to survive the Ice Age. To understand the massive scale of human starvation resistance, consider that your ancient ancestors spent over 99% of their evolutionary timeline oscillating endlessly between extreme, prolonged famine and sudden, massive feasts. Modern humans eat 3 heavy meals alongside constant processed snacks every single day, consuming calories continuously over a narrow 12-hour window that completely floods the bloodstream with unending glucose. 40,000 years of harsh Ice Age biology engineered your genetic code to thrive during prolonged food absences, yet modern society teaches you to panic if breakfast is delayed by 60 minutes. You are not a delicate creature that requires constant fueling like a fragile engine. You are the direct descendant of apex hunters who regularly survived a full week without eating a single bite. The human body was engineered to comfortably endure days without food, and ancient evidence proves this metabolic truth beyond any doubt. You were taught by commercial health campaigns that missing a single daily meal instantly plummets your blood sugar into dangerous territory while forcing your body to devour its own hard-earned muscle tissue. That clean, convenient narrative is a total biological lie crafted carefully to keep you constantly buying, consuming, and relying on manufactured calories from morning until night. The disturbing truth buried deep within human physiology is that during extended fasting, your body increases growth hormone levels drastically to preserve every single grain of lean muscle mass. By withholding food, your biology triggers a deep evolutionary backup mechanism that burns stored visceral body fat exclusively while insulating your organs and skeletal muscles from decay. If missing a meal destroyed muscle tissue instantly, your ancestors would have become too weak to hunt, leading to the immediate extinction of the entire human race. Think deeply about the psychological trap you fall into every time your stomach utters a slight rumble just a few short hours after consuming a massive calorie-dense lunch. You experience a sudden wave of irrational panic, assuming your brain is running dangerously low on vital energy and urgently needs another heavy dose of quick refined sugar. But the moment your liver runs out of stored glycogen, your metabolism automatically performs an incredible chemical miracle that modern science is only now fully beginning to comprehend. It begins converting your deep fat reserves into highly potent molecules called ketones, which cross the blood-brain barrier to fuel your mind with remarkable efficiency. You didn't buy metabolic security through constant eating. You simply traded your species' greatest superfuel for a temporary, fleeting surge of artificial industrial sugar. Consider the deeply unsettling anomaly hidden within modern medical studies, analyzing the metabolic profiles of isolated hunter-gatherer tribes living without modern agriculture. These individuals can easily endure severe, involuntary fasting periods lasting anywhere from 5 to 7 full days without experiencing any measurable drop in physical performance or cognitive speed. You would naturally expect a human being deprived of food for a week to become bedridden, confused, lethargic, and completely incapable of basic physical defense. Yet ancient hunters actually experienced a sharp surge in adrenaline, motor coordination, and deep mental focus precisely when their bodies entered prolonged starvation. This shocking biological paradox proves that human focus was designed to peak during acute food scarcity, ensuring that a starving hunter had the maximum potential to secure their next kill. Wait, ask yourself this critical question right now. Why does modern society insist that you must consume food constantly from the moment you wake up until you close your eyes at night? If your body possesses a built-in energy reserve capable of powering your brain and heart for weeks, why are you trained to feel utterly powerless without snacks? The moment your body enters a deep fast, it activates an ancient cellular cleanup process known to geneticists as deep autophagy, where damaged proteins are devoured and recycled. Constant eating completely shuts off this vital genetic repair mechanism, forcing your cells to accumulate toxic biological waste that slowly causes chronic inflammation over decades. The push for constant feeding wasn't designed to optimize your health. It inadvertently disabled the most powerful self-healing system operating inside your cellular structure. Look closely at the dark biological trail left behind by modern industrial diets that keep your insulin levels perpetually elevated from childhood to old age. When insulin remains constantly high, your fat cells are locked permanently behind a chemical wall, rendering your vast internal energy stores completely inaccessible to your desperate brain. You can carry tens of thousands of calories in stored body fat, yet still feel utterly famished, irritable, and exhausted 2 hours after a heavy meal. You have been effectively trapped in a state of cellular starvation while living inside an environment surrounded by endless, hyper-palatable artificial food. The state of constant eating effectively blinds your metabolism, leaving your body unable to tap into the very survival reserves that kept your ancestors alive through catastrophic winters. Modern metabolic scientists calculate that an average adult carrying just 15 kilograms of body fat possesses over 130,000 calories of accessible internal energy. That is more than enough stored fuel to comfortably walk across entire mountain ranges for over a month without swallowing a single gram of solid food. You are literally walking around wrapped in a massive personal survival battery that your body was explicitly designed to drain, recharge, and cycle through naturally. This staggering biological capacity turns the modern fear of skipping a single meal into a completely ridiculous, artificial illusion manufactured by modern convenience. The human frame was never built to sit in a state of perpetual digestion, but to thrive through powerful cycles of intense hunger and triumphant feast. 40,000 years of surviving brutal ice ages meant that your genetic ancestors were regularly forged in the intense fire of involuntary, deep cellular fasting. Entire family groups tracked megafauna across frozen landscapes for hundreds of miles, surviving on nothing more than melted snow and their own internal ketone reserves for days. You are looking at a species whose biological blueprint was refined through thousands of generations of extreme environmental pressure and mandatory metabolic flexibility. The continuous flow of industrial food has effectively turned off these ancient genetic survival switches, leaving your cellular repair machinery gathering dust in the dark. This reckless abandonment of your evolutionary design is directly connected to the explosive rise of modern chronic metabolic diseases seen across the world. Put yourself directly in the worn leather boots of a Paleolithic tracker, moving silently through a primeval forest during the dead of a freezing winter. Your stomach has been completely empty for 5 days, yet your vision is exceptionally sharp, tracking the faintest disturbance in the snow with effortless precision. You feel a cold calm and absolute sense of heightened awareness as your brain operates on crystal-clear ketone bodies produced deep within your burning fat reserves. The intense sensation of hunger is no longer a painful panic signal, but a focused, cold biological directive urging every muscle to perform at its peak potential. It was silent, high-level survival engineering designed to turn an empty stomach into the ultimate physical weapon for capturing dangerous prey. Wait, let that sink into your mind for a second. Are you really in control of your own body, or are you simply reacting to artificial chemical cues manufactured by modern food? We look back at ancient humans with pity, assuming their lives were miserable cycles of painful starvation and constant physical suffering compared to our comfortable modern lives. Yet their cells were continuously renewed, their mitochondria were intensely efficient, and their bodies were entirely free from the metabolic diseases rotting modern society from the inside out. The ancient world was harsh, but their biology was operating at the absolute peak of its evolutionary design, untouched by artificial sugars. You are currently living in a biological trap where absolute convenience has quietly stripped away your species' greatest physical superpower. The terrifying climax of human metabolic science was revealed when researchers discovered that extended fasting for over 72 hours completely resets the human immune system. When you fast for several consecutive days, your body actively degrades up to 30% of its old, damaged white blood cells to conserve precious metabolic energy. The moment you finally break the fast with fresh nutrients, your stem cells immediately spring to life, generating a brand new, completely rejuvenated immune network from scratch. Prolonged fasting is not a slow form of bodily destruction, but a radical biological reset button capable of purging broken cellular machinery built up over years. Ancient humans were constantly triggering this deep system wipe entirely by accident, maintaining pristine cellular health through the unavoidable reality of their environment. The forbidden question that modern nutritional science rarely addresses directly is shockingly simple, yet completely devastating to the trillion-dollar food industry. What if the widespread chronic diseases plaguing modern civilization are not caused by aging or bad genes, but by the complete absence of periodic starvation? What if your body desperately requires regular periods of 0 calories to clear out damaged cellular debris, prevent genetic mutations, and balance your hormones? The entire modern economy relies on your absolute belief that you must consume products continuously to maintain your health and vitality. Once you realize that your body possesses the natural ability to heal, repair, and regenerate itself through simple fasting, the need for constant consumption vanishes overnight. Here is the shocking evolutionary plot twist that shatters modern health assumptions. Human intelligence likely expanded rapidly because our ancestors learned to hunt effectively while deep in a state of starvation. The intense metabolic pressure of hunting without food forced the human brain to evolve complex problem-solving skills, social cooperation, and advanced spatial memory precisely when hungry. Starvation did not dull the primitive mind. It was the ultimate evolutionary catalyst that drove the expansion of the human neocortex over millions of years. The very intelligence you are using to process these words right now was forged in the fire of empty stomachs and prolonged Ice Age famines. Your brain is quite literally the product of ancient fasting, engineered to perform its most brilliant work when deprived of easy calories. At the absolute peak of this metabolic design, your liver transforms into a natural pharmaceutical factory, pumping out specialized neurotrophic factors that stimulate the growth of brand new brain cells. During extended fasts, levels of a protein called BDNF soar in the hippocampus, enhancing learning, memory retention, and emotional resilience against intense environmental stress. Your body actively builds a better, faster, and more resilient brain specifically when it senses that food is scarce, ensuring you possess the mental power to survive. Modern society has systematically convinced you to suppress this magnificent genetic mechanism, keeping your brain floating in a perpetual, foggy state of continuous sugar processing. You have been trained to fear the very biological state that made your ancestors the most dominant species on the face of the earth. Take a hard, honest look at your daily routine and recognize how completely disconnected your lifestyle has become from the evolutionary software running your body. You consume food, not out of genuine biological necessity, but out of boredom, stress, social conditioning, and aggressive advertising cues designed to manipulate your brain's dopamine pathways. The exact moment you break free from the illusion that you need constant feeding, you reclaim control over your energy, your mental clarity, and your long-term cellular health. Do not allow the artificial abundance of the modern world to permanently disable the extraordinary survival machinery hard-coded into your DNA over 40,000 years. The vital lesson buried deep within your evolutionary history is that your body was designed for extreme biological flexibility, moving seamlessly between abundance and total scarcity. True physical resilience isn't found in constant comfort or endless nutrition, but in your innate ability to tap into ancient survival systems when resources vanish. When you allow your body to experience genuine hunger, you aren't starving yourself. You are simply activating a master genetic program that cleans, repairs, and optimizes your entire physical frame. The most powerful health intervention available to human beings isn't a complex artificial product, but the simple, deliberate restoration of your ancestral biological rhythm. So as you reflect on the remarkable endurance of those prehistoric hunters tracking prey across the frozen tundra, ask yourself one final, haunting question that will change how you view your body forever. Your ancestors survived catastrophic ice ages, brutal famines, and days of endless pursuit on nothing more than their own internal fuel and razor-sharp minds. What internal strength have you lost by never allowing your body to experience the ancient, healing state of true biological hunger? And if you turned off the constant flow of calories today, would your body thrive on its ancient genetic programming, or have you forgotten how to be human?